All right, Miss Angel, it has been lovely chatting with you so far. Angel, I know that you were presented to me by my manager. She referred you over to me, which really just shows, you're able to connect with a few people here with Ronstadt. So with that, Angel, I want to go ahead and jumpstart this interview. I have your resume pulled up, so let me kind of highlight a few roles that you worked in. I'll give you the mic. So, Angel, you worked as a clerk for Penske Logistics. You have worked as a teacher and are currently working as a teacher for middle school.
Mhm.
Um, you worked as a administrative assistant as well as a executive assistant for a mental health agency. So, Angel, I would love for you to tell me a little bit about your professional experience, and we'll simply go from there.
Um, so like you just listed, I worked in a different field, from teaching to be a clerk to working administrative with the health, and then also helping out with the mental health. So I like anything. I like to work in any field where I can personally grow myself. I'm a hard worker, so I bring a lot to the team. And I also, whatever I say in the interview is who I am. I'm going to make sure I dedicate myself to that position and to that role. And then each position and role that I worked in has helped me in some way to who I am now. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And like you touched base on, you've worked in a few different industries. You worked in construction and healthcare as well. So you're really able to adapt in whatever environment or industry you're thrown into. You're even working with seventh grade children right now. Not children, teenagers, but
Teenagers.
that's a handful in itself. So, that just shows who you are.
It's an experience too. That's why I like working in different fields because I get to learn different occupations. Like I know how to logistics. I would have never thought I would learn how to work logistics until I was working logistics, doing the finances and the paperwork. Being a teacher for middle school, I did elementary school prior to this, so all of it's new. But I love trying new things that help me and that I love.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always for your benefit as well. You can take those skills and apply it to another role. So, that in itself is really shows that you're open, you're eager to learn new skills, which is amazing, Angel. Now, touching base as far as, your experience, you've done executive assistant, administrative assistant. Tell me a little bit about those roles and what you did in those roles.
So the with Penske Logistics, my position was to do the finance. So I had to make sure that the bills that they had coming in were paid. I also helped with payroll with the drivers. So I did payroll to pay out the drivers. I was in charge of receiving, making sure that Wawa, whenever they sent in any documentation or information, I was the one that had to get back with them on the paperwork. I had to do the paperwork for the drivers. I also had to do the stats report, which was on Excel. So each month I had to do the stats of what they spent, how much did they lose, how many trucks did they use, how many trailers did they use. And it's not the same thing when I did Orlando Health Administrative work. Most of it was scheduling, front desk filing. A lot of it was computer, Word, Excel, Outlook. So those were the experiences with those jobs. And teaching in Barnett Park, I also did assist administrative work with Barnett Park. I worked with the kids as well, where I was a school counselor, but with Barnett Park, I did the scheduling if families want to come in and have an event at the pavilions or in one of their rental rooms they had. I did the scheduling. I also did the payments, and I also helped out parents that were interested in their kids doing summer camp. So I helped them set up the paperwork and everything they needed for that.
That sounds amazing. It shows that, you're able to, your customer service in itself, not only you have the teacher experience, but the customer service experience that you have for, many years now, which comes to play with your communications in person, communications via email and phone. So, you worked in a lot of roles. So tell me, how were you able to keep yourself organized throughout your day-to-day life?
A calendar. You can't control the calendar, so I always scheduled. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do at from 7 to 11. From 7 after that, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work on probably sending emails from like 12 to 1. That's how I keep myself organized, so I don't get too overwhelmed or too everything's all over the place. I accidentally miss and mess up on something, or I missed to send an email, or I accidentally forgot to file a paper. So I always keep a schedule where I know I'm going to do this from this time to this time to that time. So I know I'm doing everything I need to do, and I can leave work feeling satisfied that, okay, I did what I was supposed to do.
That's right. I agree. It's funny because I do the same thing. My calendar is my life store. It's my diary. So if you know where I'm at, it's on my calendar. That's amazing, Angel. So, as far as, so we mentioned, or keeping yourself organized. How about a few systems that you've used? What are some few systems that you've used or are familiar with?
I'm familiar with Outlook, Word, Excel, Docs, anything with computers. There were some systems that I'm trying to remember the systems that Penske used, but they use like some different systems to do financing, paperwork, along with Orlando Health. There were some systems that I had to learn to do the scheduling and also do the files and make sure that everything was in order. But when it comes to like Google Docs, Word docs, Excel, Microsoft Outlook, I'm pretty good with all that stuff.
Amazing, Angel. Well, this has been so much fun chatting with you. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this interview. It truly, again, has been a pleasure getting to know your professional experience and seeing where I can go ahead and get your next opportunity at. So, Dallas, sorry, Angel. I saw your last name.
No, I'm used to it. I'm used to Dallas.
I will definitely go ahead and connect with you as soon as I have a response from my clients to get you to where you want to be for the summer. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but don't hang up on me. I would love to continue chatting with you.
Okay.
Thank you.